July.
Citizenship 3 weeks ago, you know?
He's an American citizen.
Yeah, I did it. I joined you.
Why? And the reason for say.
Didn't need to put that out there.
Just letting the ladies know you're available. And emotionally scarred. And damaged. Even better, she said. Love that. No, but Monty, we wrote a movie together that I think we could be close to making. Why don't you tell people about this crazy idea? By the way, making a movie is the toughest thing to do in all of show business. You've been working on this, how many years?
7 at least, but I've been working towards this since I was 12 years old, so.
Yeah, but it really only got good when I started helping you.
Nothing more that is true. But you didn't need to say it.
You interrupted my laugh, I was going to get one there.
That wasn't going to be happening. No, you laughed.
It's based on a true story about what happened in Australia in 1932.
I'll tell you the true story. So, if you look up on Wikipedia, it's all true. In 1932, the Australian government went to war with the EMU'S. You might have heard about this. If you don't know what an EMU is, it's like an ostrich. It's a large flightless bird named in Australia.
Second largest bird.
So what happened, there was 20,000 of these birds running through an area in Western Australia, and they were tearing up farmers' crops. So the army was called in, tanks and machine guns, and went to war with the EMU'S. Now this is the best bit, you can look this up, I'm not making this up. We lost, okay?
If you look at what's hilarious, it's world conflicts, and it's like, you know, the Allies, you know, the Great Britain, and the United States, and Russia, and it goes, and then the, you know, enemy, who they fought, you know, versus the Axis, Japan, Germany, Italy, and it goes, Victor, Allies. The same thing in Australia, it's like the Australian Army versus EMU'S. Victor, EMU'S.
They had to do that because they had to declare war in order to get the funding to get bullets to go throw and cover these birds basically. And when you declare war, there has to be a victor in the history books. And it literally does say a picture of a bird that they beat our army. So we've written a film called The Great EMU War. I wrote with Rob Schneider and John Cleese. Do you guys know John Cleese? The three of us wrote that together. We had Jim Jeffries involved.
I don't know. Hopefully we can get another actor to star. I mean, hopefully Monty will still star in the movie now that we get
We're meant to play a 30-year-old, and I'm really pushing that.
Alright. Anyway, it's been a fun career of making movies. I will announce it's a secret no more. We're going to be making Grown Ups 3. That's not the whole title. Grown Ups 3, The Revenge of Khan. But I know the Shatner's here.
Yeah.
Shatner's 94.
Woo!
He looks great.
He does.
Because he's getting around and talks to you. Unbelievable.
You have a role in the upcoming Happy Gilmore 2.
I think when the other Star Trek actors died, he got stronger. I'm sorry. He gained something each time. That's all.
Yeah.
You know it and I know it. What?
Do you have a role in the upcoming Happy Gilmore 2?
Woo!
Netflix July 25.
Yes.
Woo! Who are you playing?
Remember the music in the first one? He's not in the second one, but I am.
Woohoo!
But it's fun. It's nice that Adam's going to do some sequel to something that was crazy at the time because he was, we were stand-ups together, they were on Saturday Night Live together. He started making these movies, and then that was the one that really took off. And it was a very weird moment. This is very strange. I've never said this publicly. So maybe I shouldn't.
No, please do.
Oh, I just knew something was happening. He was very famous when turned on the news. It was when all this OJ stuff was happening. And OJ was in the backyard with a golf club, and he hit the ball and he went, Happy Gilmore! Holy shit, OJ was But it's been fun, and making movies is a young man's game. It takes a lot of energy. It's terrible. I mean, at least get you a hotel. You know, feel awful. He said, buddy, you know, it's okay, buddy. Shit happens, you know, buddy.
That's David.
He said, let me get you a hotel. You don't have to. It's okay, you know. He said, no, I've been working for 35 years. Let me at least help you out until you figure out what you have to do. Okay, buddy, thank you. It was 135 days ago. I called him this morning. Hey, the hotel's amazing. I said, David, you know, I wanted to help you out and everything, but, you know, this is ridiculous. It was 135 days, but you feel terrible that your house burned down. My house didn't burn down. You said you wanted to go to a hotel. I'm always up for a hotel. I canceled my credit card this morning. But anyway, it's been fun. It's been
Can I ask you a question, Rob?
Or
I'm still here.
Monty.
make this about you.
It's not. I think everyone wants to know the answers to this. Can you tell us a movie that perhaps you've been offered that you said no to, but it's gone on to massive success and you've gone, I should have said yes to that?
Anger management. I was replaced by Jack Nicholson. Who's right?
Are you going to play Jack Nicholson's role?
Yes, I was. But it didn't happen. Bad Santa. I wish I would say this about. Oh, would have been a goodie.
Is that Disney?
Road trip. Or no, sorry, old school.
Oh, which role in old school?
We could have had any. I was the first guy they asked, and I said no. Because it was to me, it was too much of, reminded me too much of Animal House. Which nobody even knows anymore, so I shouldn't have done that. Any questions from the audience about movies? I will tell you, by the time we got to Hong Kong to film the movie, it seemed like we had about $8 million. You can just tell by how many trucks, you know, and how many cameras. And then by the time we finished filming, I said, well, I was shocked. We spent more than $6 million on this movie. Well, and at the end of it, we really were running out of money. And I remember when I went to a screening, movie, not a screening, opening weekend, Sony Theaters, Times Square, and movie, you know, good stuff in it. First 3 quarters, but the ending kind of falls off the cliff a little bit. Not a little bit, a lot of it. And at the end of the movie, some guy stood up 10 rows in front of me, in the aisle seat, he stood up. At the end of the movie, he stands up and says, I feel like someone stole from me. So I snuck out of the movie very quickly. Because I was the one who stole from him.
Is there questions?
Yes. You work here, that's not fair.
I think so.
Nobody else has stepped up. I'm going to encourage everyone to give money. There's a microphone outside as well. I want you guys to ask a question. But actually, mine was, I wanted to say thank you for acknowledging my outfit backstage, which I really appreciate. My fashion sense I got from my mom, who we met about a few years ago. We were in Columbus, Ohio, at City Center Mall. Do you remember this?
Not specifically.
Not specifically. Okay, so what happened? So you were at the mall, and my mom worked there, and she saw you, y'all started talking for a hot second, and I was a huge fan of your brother on SNL, specifically the Make the Coffees skits. Do you guys remember this? Of course.
Really don't.
Yes,
These are great people. What's the question?
my question is, what inspired that particular skit? Because it was so funny, and even at my age, I couldn't tell you why, but it's absolutely amazing. What inspired
This
this?
guy's in Monterey. Oh, it wasn't very complicated. Basically, I was in Saturday Night Live. There were so many cast members at the time. You couldn't get your own office. You'd get a half or somebody, same person, 6, 7 times as you could the first time. So when I saw Kevin Neal, I was like, Kevin! All right, Kevin! And then like 8 times later, Kevin! Taking it dumb. Every day. What's it? What's more complicated?
Absolutely great. Thank you.
We got it.
So I'll preface this by saying I'm a fan of both your roles in Home Alone 2 and Down Periscope. Can you share us your experience on both of those?
I love you said preface. I love that. It's the right way to say that. Very dominant way to say that. Let me preface this shit. Don't make me get into a preface. Home Alone I was offered to do a movie with Tim Burton called Ed Wood.
Oh, yeah.
And I made the mistake of asking permission. My boss at Saturday Night Live, one of mine goes, "Can I read this?" "No. You're on a TV show." So I couldn't do it. So I knew the next time I was going to be asked to do a movie. I knew not to ask. When they asked me to go Home Alone 2, my question was simply, "You sure you shoot the movie during the day?" I said, "Yeah, why?" "No reason." So then I shot the movie during the day, and then at night I would go to Saturday Night Live, just not say anything. So I was really tired. I remember I didn't want to pay for the hotel room, so I asked the guy who owned the plaza at the time, Donald Trump. I will tell you, I really had fun. I was a single man surrounded by women.
It was the pillow fight thing.
Pillow fighting was very fun. That was the beginning. I mean, there's a lot of, I'll talk about trans and sports. People show the pillow fight scene. I really like the scenes where somebody's saying, "Everybody does like everybody thinks you're such a jerk." And they all hate you. And they pretend they don't, but they hate you. It doesn't matter if you're beautiful, they hate you. And then I say, "Do you think I'm beautiful?" Yes, I tried. There's a scene in there, and we showed it at the end where I'm laughing hysterically because I couldn't get through it. And it was because I was having so much fun, and I literally gave up after 40 takes. Those are the things that are really fun. Sometimes I'll work really hard on an accent, like 50 First Dates, Adam Sandler. You just want my good eye. And then I'll figure out how to say the words. Get your butt on the dishwasher. Then he'll add lib, and then I won't know how to do the accent and answer what he's saying. He just looks at me like, "What do you got now?" So it's been a wonderful challenge. He pushes me. And my favorite is that I was in the movie Zohan, where I worked for 2 months on the Palestinian, trying to get that accent, Arabic accent, and to learn the whole scene, John Turturro, in Arabic. My favorite compliment was my mom yelling at me, "Robert, we just want to go see the movie Zohan. You said you were not in it. I don't put you in it." I said, "I wasn't." "Oh, you were. I saw the movie. Yes, no, I was the guy at the terrace." "No." "Was you? A sus." And it's pretty amazing. So that was a good compliment. The idea that we're only supposed to play ourselves, we can't play other nationalities. To me, it's like, you should play whoever's the best for the role. I don't care if it's a guy playing a girl, or a guy playing a different nationality, or whatever. If you're funny and it works and body can use it, that's the test. The idea to be fallen into, hopefully we'll get out of, I will be making a few movies that are going to be outrageous again, is that the most sensitive members of our society should not be the ones getting to decide if everybody else gets to listen to and watch.
I was just going to ask, it's kind of poetic to end this way, but we always ask you for quotes for our autographs, but what do you want people to remember you by?
Oh God, I hope. I will just tell you what I told my daughter, because I have young kids, and my youngest is 8. She just did the math recently. Yeah, I'm gonna admit you. And I said, hey, I'm going to dance at your wedding one day. Just as long as you get married by the 5th grade. Start meeting people. Yeah. No, I started to make movies that people laugh. And that's a healing thing. To me, the most beautiful compliments I get is like, my dad and I love laughing together at your movie, Who's Big one of those. And then you would tell your dad hi. He's not here anymore. He passed away. That's a really good memory. That's really sweet. And I hope people, the idea is to, create those memories for people and their families. They can watch and hopefully without grandma running out of the room throwing up. So I'll leave you with some stories. But I'll tell you, I was at the Saturday Night Live story. Saturday night, 50th anniversary, and Robert DeNiro sitting right in front of me. This is Robert DeNiro, so I really admire very greatly. And I know he hates Donald Trump. And sorry, but I love Donald Trump. Sorry, you don't have to like him if you don't want to, but he's our president.
Boo!
He's our president.
No.
You don't want to root against the guy flying your plane. He's the guy flying the plane. You have a plane, you go, who's flying this plane? I'm an asshole, let's kick him out. But he's the only guy who knows how to fly. So what? Let's just crash. Anyway, I knew he was angry. And I said, I don't want to make him feel wrong now, because I am a Trump supporter, So I said, God bless him. I said, I don't think he's going to see me. So he's, sitting 3 rows in front, and, off to the left, unless he really turned his head. And then at the end of the show, I said, I'm safe. At the end of the show, we all stand up and they advise us. Everyone was at the show, and they advised us to go on the stage. One last bow. So it was very nice. We all get up. Because I've been on the show for 50 freaking years. So everybody stands up. There's everybody in the audience is on the show. So we all stand up, try to make our way to the stage. We move our way, and then somebody's pushing me. The mirrors are right there. And finally, right behind him, somebody pushes me. And he turned around. Schneider, how could you support that shot? Darn, the whole country is shots. Schneider, I thought you were smarter than that. And I swear, the only thing I was thinking in my head was, Robert DeNiro was so him. True story is, I looked him right in the eye. I said, I love you. And he looked, no, really, I love you. He's one of the greatest actors of all time. It's because he hates this guy that I vote for. I don't hate him. Because we only have 2 parties, not like China, we only get one. In America, we have freedom. We had who? And just think about, So I told him, I said, I love you. Really, I love you. No. Can you get me, so we're fixing it for tomorrow. Can you get me a uniform, just any uniform? He said, we'll see what we can do. And then, the director called me and says, we want you to wear a mustache. And I said, but I don't think I can grow one tomorrow. So he said, we'll get you. So shooting at 6 a.m. He said, "Can you give me a mustache?" He says, "No, I'm making it right now." He said, "Can you give me something resembling a mustache?" He says, "I'll see what I can do." At around 12:45, I get the uniform and I put it on. At about 1:15, I get a mustache and I put it on. And I put the uniform on, it was a little tight. And I remember we just got done working with Sylvester Stallone. And Sylvester Stallone, we would always walk around, like, you know, like this. He was very muscular and worked out between setups and everything. He was an impressive guy. So I thought, oh wow, it might be fun to have that posture without body match. And so that's what I did, and it really helped. And then my friend Scott Wilson gave me the greatest note I've ever been given for a role. He said, "When you're talking, when somebody else is talking, the whole time, you should be hearing Star Spangled Banner in your head." And it just gave me something crazy. My eyes were always moving. And it was successful. Thank you. The movie's still a good movie today. Thank you. Next question.
First I want to say welcome to Colorado, and you put your weed in.
Yeah.
And then my question is, how the roles been reversed? If you were one of the patrons here at a FAN EXPO or a comic convention, whose panel would you want to sit on? Who would you want to take a selfie with? Who would you want to sit on?
I use the panel, not face, by the way. Sorry. What's the panel where I want to sit on?
Sit in on.
Sit in on.
Sit inside.
I just was at a convention and I had a lot of fun at it, and all the Back to the Future people were there. That's an amazing movie because it's really about incest. Mom hitting on her own son. Wow. See, the 80s was a much gentler time. Can you imagine talking to Disney Studios? Basically, the guy goes back in time because mom tries to bang him. We have $100 million. No! Not giving you that money. That would have been fun. It's also nice to, I mean, I've been very lucky to work with older actors and stuff. And it's nice to hear the stories. And I was Jaws just had its 50th anniversary. And that's how short show business is in time. Stu was the gaffer. He was the guy plugging all the lights and stuff, and all the wires and stuff. Gaffer, so that the cameras work. And he was the gaffer on Jaws. And he told me, like, the first day the shark sank, we had to film something, so he was one of the 4 guys tugging the girl. And they all said, "Boy, this is going to be a piece of shit." So it's just great to hear those stories. And I've been very lucky. I've been able to hear some pretty darn good ones. So if you ever, and as an actor, getting older now, some of those guys are gone. And it's fun to, man, I got famous before. Adam Sandler, Chris Rock, David Spade, and me never had more than 20 minutes that were good, that were very good. We were never headliners. By that time, we were famous. But I never got the chance to get what I felt be like one of the best, acts in the United States, I think I do now. Thank you. It's like last night was really fun, because I was out in the South, Comedy Works, and only a few people walked up, but it was really fun. And it's challenging, because I think you have to challenge the audience, and I'm not in a place where I think, how boring would it be if you weren't challenged by the entertainment that's put in front of you. When you see a scary movie, if you don't feel scared by it, you should challenge your pre-concepts about things. Your foundational thing should be challenged. not lectured to, not trying to be subverted, or be brought into some cult, to be entertained by a different point of view. And I think that's what I try to do. But I am going to go back to making movies, and I don't see myself with stand-up as much. I think, and I won't probably go back to it because if I don't, if I'm not able to do it all the time, stay good at it, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to do things I'm not good at, or I can't do the best at it.
So what you're saying is if you are doing the show in Denver, go see it, because I was so fun.
Well, you'll laugh your balls off when you see it. Two shows, it's on Sunday, and I'm going out back to Sanders on this tour.
Woo!
Or not all the shows, but a lot of them. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. God bless you.
You worked on SNL.
You are your microphone check. Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 13.
13. You should have to figure it out by now. Blind person, you have social media, you probably have a phone.
Yeah.
See? What's your question?
You worked on SNL over the past couple of years. What's your favorite SNL skit?
I haven't been on the show since you were a gleam in your mother's eye. Well, I haven't been on the show for 30 years, 31 years. Well, I have hemorrhoids older than you. You know No, still doing some good work. I think, like a lot of things, people got wrapped up into, into the divided nature of our culture. And I think SNL, the institution, was not, we're not immune to the culture wars, unfortunately. There's a lot of people, but I think they're doing good work, and I wish them the best. Next question, I know that dude, how are you?
Huge fan of the movie Necessary Roughness.
Thank you.
Any funny anecdotes
Yes.
about the movie?
The people, if you would have thought the one billionaire that was going to come out of that would have been Kathy Ireland, we would have all hung ourselves. But she knew what she wanted to do. It was just fun. Nobody ever offered me to do a movie before. That's the first one I ever did. The next thing I was making literally $1,500 a week. Well, $750 a week. Saturday night. And then I did one character. The next thing, I got offered $25,000 to be in a movie. I was like, what time did you leave me there? It was fun. We shot the whole thing out of order. It was a lot of fun. Thank you. But I don't remember anything. I didn't get a chance to meet with any of the other actors. Yeah, I was just in the booth the whole time. They had to explain to me what was happening. It was kind of cool because I was working with Howard Hawks Jr. and his father, Howard Hawks Sr., was a very famous director, worked with Jack Lemmon in the 1950s. Jack Lemmon's first movie was Petticoat or Officer Petticoat or Sneak, what it was like what's it called? No, it's a TV series. Operation Petticoat, thank you very much. And that was Jack Lemmon's first movie. And it's really interesting, Jack Lemmon has a scene in there where we let the audience have a breath and a laugh or the next line, or should we just say the line we would do naturally? What do you think would be the answer? Let it breathe? What do you think? What's natural or let it breathe? Natural? Howard Hawks said, it was natural, let the baby see it twice. dealing with